Smith, and my pronouns are they, them, and she, her, and I'm here today with Alfredo Santiago, who I'm interviewing for LGBTQ Elders Day. Alfredo, thank you so much for being here today and for agreeing to be part of this interview. I wanted to just start by asking you some questions. So first, tell me a bit about yourself. When and where were you born?
Well, my responses will be bilingual. I was actually born in Trenton, New Jersey. My parents are from Puerto Rico, so a lot of times people are like, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "I'm from New Jersey." I'm like, "Where are you really from?" So I was born in Trenton, New Jersey. Very connected to my Puerto Rican roots, though, and I've been living in Baltimore for 20 years, so I consider myself a Baltimorean. Pues yo nací en Trenton, New Jersey, de herencia puertorriqueña. Muchas personas me preguntan, ¿de dónde eres? Yo digo New Jersey, como me miran, ¿de dónde? Pues yo estoy muy conectado con mis raíces puertorriqueños, pero sí nací en Trenton, New Jersey, y vivo ahorita hace como 20 años en Baltimore, Maryland.
Awesome. Thank you. Let's see. And when did you first begin to realize your sexual identity?
Pues sexualidad es diferente, ¿verdad? Yo creo a los 12 años quizás en desarrollo que es algo natural, pero a los 12 años, pero hay personas en mi familia que a los 4 años pudieron ver algo diferente en mí. So I think like at 12 years old and we're going through puberty, I started noticing same-sex attractions, which is like kind of normal like, as far as sexual development. But I asked family members if they saw something in me at a younger age, and I had family members say at 4 years old, they can tell I was going to be somebody different.
Okay. And tell me about the first time that you came out. Whom did you tell and why? Culturally, what was that like for you and your family, your community?
Coming out was a process and it was layers. There would be some people that I would tell, I think actually some church friends of mine who I consider like family to me. And then more friends and more family members. Until I just now am in a place that as I present in any space, I present as a gay man. So yo creo que eso fue como eso de salir del closet o reconocer mi sexualidad y a quien yo quise decir quién soy. Empezó con amistades, y fíjate, amistades en la iglesia que yo considero como mi familia, como hermanos y hermanas. Y luego amistades y familiares poco a poco, dependiendo con quién yo me sentía más cómodo. Y ahora cuando entro en un espacio, yo entro a ese espacio como en mi persona completa, que es parte de mi persona completa, es mi sexualidad y mi identidad como hombre gay.
Have you always wanted to be a social worker?
You know what? That social bug, actually probably I got that in 1999 when I worked at a small nonprofit. It was called Centro de la Comunidad, which no longer exists. But we had social workers come from, social students come and visit us as their field trip. And every one of them had a great placement. It was just, they were all doing wonderful things. And I was like amazed by it. And I'm like, that's what I'm supposed to be. That's it. I figured it out. So, and then I started going to school in my late 30s, actually to finish my undergrad degree and then move on to getting my master's in social work. Yo como puede ser en 1998-99 trabajaba en un lugar que se llamaba Centro de la Comunidad, que ya no existe lamentablemente, pero llegaron unos estudiantes de la escuela de social work y cada uno tenía su propia historia de dónde estaban trabajando y lo que estaban haciendo. Me quedé tan impresionado y dije, eso va a ser mi trabajo, eso va a ser mi carrera, eso es donde yo estoy dispuesto a estar en mi vida. Y empecé a estudiar. Fui a la universidad en mis 30 para mi bachillerato y maestría. Me encanta este campo de social work o de trabajador social.
Thank you. It's amazing. You've done so much. You've worked in so many different places, doing so many different things with people. And at what point did you realize that you wanted to be an ordained deacon? Yeah.
In seminary, we talk about a call. I always felt like I wanted to be a person who, from a faith-based perspective, to serve God in the community. And I think that just social work actually became like a ministry to me. So, but now I am pursuing to become an ordained deacon in the Methodist Church, which to me is basically a social worker doing it from a more of a Christian perspective, working inside the church and in the community, like a social worker does. So I'm just kind of, I guess, I'm going to say enhancing my social work that I do already. Pues como yo creo que yo tengo lo que se llama un llamado a servir al Señor y siempre lo quise hacer, no sabía en qué forma, pero he aprendido que ser diácono es como ser trabajador social, que uno sirve a la comunidad dentro de la iglesia y afuera de la comunidad. Y eso como que abre más lo que es mi campo de trabajador social de una manera muy espiritual y del el enfoque cristiano.
Thank you. What are you most proud of in your life?
I think working with the Latino immigrant community, and that can be as simple as directing them to services that are offered here in Baltimore City. It can be providing support to someone who's living with HIV/AIDS, who is far away from home and needs support. Finding somebody employment. I have people approach me. Guess what, Alfredo? I still work at that place you referred me to so many years ago. As a social worker, I think quality of life is so important to me for myself and for others. So seeing our new neighbors from different parts of the world, but mostly from Central America and Mexico, come here and just put some roots down and just grow. It just brings me a lot of happiness to see that. And now it's like generations, another second generation. Hey, this is my child. This is my daughter. This is my son. Hey, this is Alfredo. I knew him when, and they'll tell a story. So mi orgullo es trabajar con la comunidad inmigrante aquí en Baltimore, que consiste de muchas personas de Centroamérica y México, aunque de otros países también. Me encanta apoyando a personas a encontrar trabajo. Y hay personas que me dicen, pero todavía estoy en este trabajo donde me mandaste, me referiste. Me encanta apoyar personas que están viviendo con VIH, porque muchas veces necesitan otro tipo de apoyo porque están tan lejos de sus países. Pero me encanta ver mi comunidad latina inmigrante que pone sus raíces aquí en Baltimore y que siguen desarrollando. Y no solamente una generación, ya son 2 y 3 generaciones. Me da mucha felicidad cuando me presentan a sus hijos, sus hijas, sus nietos y nietas con mucho orgullo.
Thank you. And what would you tell LGBTQ youth who are dealing with this pandemic and just trying to look forward to the future? What would you tell them?
There's a campaign that I really like, that it gets better. So we have to be hopeful, right? Sometimes it's okay to recognize right now things are not so well, things are horrible, and call it what it is, right? But to know that tomorrow things might change and get better. Somebody might walk into our life and just give us a different perspective. We have a new opportunity. And also as we embrace ourselves and get to know our talents, our skills, we kind of move with that to get a better quality of life and bring our whole person to that better quality of life, not just a part of it, that we show some aspects of ourselves and then we mute others. So it gets better. And you really have to believe that even on the darkest days, you have to tell yourself, it gets better. Yo creo que hay una campaña que dice, se va a mejorar, o se va a mejorar la situación. Y si no creen eso, aunque hay momentos muy oscuros, sabiendo que mañana puede cambiar. Alguien entra en nuestras vidas que nos da diferente perspectiva. Entramos en un lugar nuevo y como que las cosas se ven muy diferente. Reconociendo que hay momentos, como digo, oscuros, pero que hay momentos que hay mucha luz y que esos momentos llegarán. So tengan paciencia y esperanza. Las cosas se ponen mejor. La situación se mejora.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for participating in this today, and happy LGBTQ Elders Day.
Thank you so much. Muchísimas gracias, Rachel. Te aprecio. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. All right.